Yo, what is up, guys? It's Andrew. I'm back. Hopefully you guys liked the first video. If you haven't checked that out, feel free. I know it was from our last week matchup, but feel free to check that out. This week we're going to be going over our matchup with the Bills. I know it was very disappointing, very tough for us. I am repping my Miami Heat. I am a diehard Knicks fan at heart, but I always got love for my Miami. I was in Miami last weekend. Got a chance to go to a bar and watch the Heat game, so that was a lot of fun. And my girlfriend actually got me this for my birthday coming up this next weekend, so very nice of her. So we're going to get right into this. I'm very excited. I hope you guys are too. We got a lot to break down, a lot to go over. I have some fan questions we're going to get to. We're going to talk about Tua. We're going to talk about our next matchup Thursday night against the Jags, which I will also be at, so stay tuned. All right, guys, so like I said, Dolphins lost 31-28. It was a very tough loss. I think the main reason it was tough is because we were in it so close for a good amount of the time. Third quarter, we really started to play well, and it just fell apart in the fourth quarter. Josh Allen, just to go over some stats, Josh Allen went 24 of 35, 417 passing yards, and 4 touchdowns. The one improvement I did see is that we only allowed 111 rushing yards compared to last week. I think we allowed almost double that, maybe like 211 or so. Stephon Diggs had 8 catches, 153 yards, and a touchdown. We're going to get to that. The thing I liked about Josh Allen that he did well is he distributed the ball to 8 different receivers. In my previous video, I even highlighted that in his previous game that he had distributed the ball very well throughout the offense. I think he had 7 different receivers last game, and he had 8 different receivers with a catch this game. And then moving on to Fitz, he went 31 of 47 for 328 yards and 2 touchdowns. Fitz played pretty well. I'm not going to fault him for the loss at all. We're going to get to the Tua talk and all that. But he was not the fault for our loss. Gaskin had 7 rushes for 46 yards. Breida had 7 rushes for 37 yards. And Jordan Howard, once again, disappointed. He had 5 rushes for 4 yards and then could not get in on that terrible goal line stand. Player of the game for the Miami Dolphins, Mike Gesicki, had 8 catches for 130 yards and a touchdown. Isaiah Ford played very well. He led our wide receivers in catching. He had 7 catches for 76 yards. And then Devontae Parker had his 5 catches for 53 yards and a touchdown. And the biggest disappointment has to be Preston Williams. He has 3 catches on the season. Against the Bills, he had 1 catch for 26 yards. And then that crucial drop in the end zone. So we're going to break this down. You know, it was very tough to watch. I was at the game. If you didn't watch my previous video, I was there. So we're going to get into it. I have some fan questions I'm about to go over, so let's break it down. So my first question is from a good friend of mine, actually, Randy Seidler. All the Twitter tags will be in the screen, so you'll be able to follow them if you'd like. I'm going to give them their due credit for, and thank you all for commenting. I really appreciate all the fan love. I just made this Twitter account this past weekend, actually, and I think I'm up to about 150 followers, so that's very nice. I've had some good interactions with a lot of Dolphins fans, so I thank you guys for that, truly. So the first question from Randy is, we all know the secondary got torched, but how did our O-line do against the Bills? I'm not super high on Jesse Davis lately. Maybe it's time to see what Robert Hunt can do. So our O-line is actually the one thing I have not been too disappointed in. I saw a stat that the Dolphins have actually gotten more sacks than they've allowed sacks, which is hard to believe because of the lack of pass rush. But if you really think about that, that's pretty good compared to last season. I think we've given up 4 sacks and we got 5 total, I believe. I know we have 1 more sack than sack given up. So as far as the Jesse Davis talk, I haven't seen him do anything bad. Our O-line's played pretty well as a unit. I definitely was high on Robert Hunt when we drafted him, so I'd like to see him get some reps. I believe Hunt can play a guard-tackle combination. I think we're trying to work him out at tackle. So, Randy, as far as that, we'll see what happens. Right now, the O-line looks pretty good as a unit, considering they have a lot of new pieces on that O-line, and it's only their second game. So if it's me, I'm not touching the O-line right now. I'm going to let them grow. It looks like they have some potential to be good. The next question is from my friend Pat. So it's like I said, his Twitter handle is going to be on the screen. If you had a choice of a running back going forward between Gaskin, Howard, and Breida, who are you going with? This is actually one of my favorite questions I've had. So I can tell you, going into the season, I was not high on Myles Gaskin. I didn't even I know he played for us last year, but he wasn't anything significant. I thought Jordan Howard was going to be our power back, and Breida was going to get a little bit of the carries. But Gaskin must have had an amazing training camp because he clearly is the best running back. He's catching the ball. He's running the ball well. He's not getting hit behind the line. I mean, he had 7 carries for 46 yards. That's pretty good. I mean, next to him, we had Breida for 37 yards on 7 carries. So as far as which back I'm going with going forward, absolutely Myles Gaskin. He's definitely going to be leading the pack. His yards per carry has been great. You can catch the ball out of the backfield. And then the thing I love about him the best, and the reason I think he's starting, is because he's a great pass blocker. I've seen him step up big time on linebackers rushing in, and I think that's why Fitzpatrick likes him a lot too. I've seen him pass block very well. I've seen him run the ball very well, catch the ball very well. So I'm excited. I think Myles Gaskin, I mean, we might have found a diamond in the rough. We'll see what happens, but he's running it very well. He's a young guy, so maybe he's going to be our future running back going forward for the next couple of years. So we'll see. So Myles Gaskin is my answer for that. All right, so the next question is from Dash10. What adjustments will Flores make to the secondary now that there is a chance Byron Jones, will be out for a while? We all know that IG is not the move here. I assume IG, he's talking about Noah Igbenogany. And this is tough, man. I mean, you know, Iggy, I can't fault him too bad. He did not play well. Neither did Nick Needham. But Iggy had the responsibility of guarding Stephon Diggs a lot of the time. And it's not like there's many times where he was just half a step behind Stephon Diggs. A bunch of crossing routes that were open, post routes that were open. But, I mean, if it's me, as far as the secondary goes, our biggest problem looks to be our safeties. That last play that Bobby McCain gave up for the John Brown touchdown was inexcusable. So, I mean, that's tough. You know, it's a young unit. I mean, I think Byron Jones is the vet there, really. I mean, Eric Rowe's a vet. Xavier Howard's a vet. But Igbenogany, Needham, Bobby McCain, you know, it's a unit that's going to have to gel together over time. I know Coach Flores had a great adjustment as far as moving Eric Rowe to safety from cornerback, because he struggled a lot last year at cornerback. And then that move to safety actually got him an extension with us, and he hasn't looked to play too bad. It's been hard to kind of see. The defense has been bad in a whole, so it's kind of hard to nitpick and see who's playing good and bad. So as far as adjustments, what I would do, personally, I'm going to just have, you know, depending on how long Byron Jones is out, Xavier Howard has to guard the best player, the best receiver. So Xavier Howard looks like he's a step slow right now, and I don't blame him. He had the knee surgery, knee injuries. He had all those injuries last season. He was on IR. He was on the COVID list to start training camp and practice, and he hasn't really gotten that chance to get his step back. He didn't have preseason or anything. So I'm sure he'll get his step back. I'm not worried about Xavier Howard. We all know what he can do. So I'm having Xavier Howard shadow as far as man-to-man. Igbenogany has to right now guard the number 2, and then we got to have our safety step up. People shouldn't be getting behind our safeties. Bobby McCain was back there sleeping. I don't know what he was doing. So that's my answer for that. Xavier Howard, number 1. You got to put Igbenogany at 2, and then hopefully Needham can step up at this point. Personally, I think Bobby McCain might need to move back into the slot, maybe play a little bit of nickel corner, and then maybe Brandon Jones steps back there. I know he's more of a run-stopping, tackling safety, but give him a shot. You know, we got nothing to lose at this point, so I would kind of move some pieces around and just see what fits properly. The next question is from Jacob Wilson. It's pretty similar. So what he said was, what adjustments do you think need to be made to the secondary? Coming from a Giants fan, watching your team's secondary absolutely get picked apart is aggravating nonetheless. So absolutely, very aggravating. You know, I'd rather the offense struggle than the defense, because when you have people running the ball down your throats or passing the ball all over you, it is frustrating. But as far as the secondary, you know, I kind of already went over that. We have a bunch of young pieces. We really just need to give him some time. Igbenogany, he's the youngest. I think he's the youngest player in the NFL. So we're gonna have to give him some time. We can't ruin his confidence. Please don't think bad. Oh, Flores messed that pick up. No, give us some time. We'll see what happens. You know, Xavier Howard barely played his rookie year. There's guys that take some time to develop. He's a very young, raw prospect. I'm not worried about him. He's a great athlete, great guy. So he's the type of guy I would love to have in the locker room. Of course, your numbers do have to produce itself. So, like I said, secondary we kind of already went over, so I'm going to just go with that. All right, so the next thing is going to be very brief. It's Tua talks. There's not much update on Tua. We do not play him versus Jacksonville. I did tweet about this. I do think that if we do lose to the Jags, there is going to be a lot of pressure on the coaching staff. Some coaches will be on thin ice and or the hot seat. No, Brian Flores will not. But if our defense gets shredded, you could look at maybe our defensive backs coach or our defensive coordinator or our linebackers coach. They could all be on very thin ice. You know, this is a season that's not supposed to be a waste season. We're supposed to be competing. This is not tank for Tua. Tank for Tua is over. We got Tua, right? So we're supposed to be winning some games. So Tua is a no-go, again, for week 2, no-go. Week 3 is going to be a tougher, Tua is a no-go for week 3 against the Jags. Week 4 will be a tougher choice for me. We do have the extra long week and a half or so break because we are playing Thursday night. So maybe Tua gets ready. If we lose, we're looking at a different scenario here. So we'll get to that next week. All right, so moving on to the Jags versus the Titans game. Gardner Minshew had 30 completions of 45 attempts, 339 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. Pretty good stat line. The 2 interceptions were costly. I know he threw one at the end of the game to pretty much lose it. He had a chance to win. James Robinson, the rookie running back, had 16 carries, 102 yards, and a touchdown. DJ Chark, 4 catches, 84 yards. Keelan Cole, 6 catches, 58 yards, and a touchdown. Ryan Tannehill had a 4-touchdown game, which I don't know if he ever had his whole career in Miami. But kudos to him. Rooting for you, Tannehill. Derrick Henry had 25 carries, 84 yards with a 3.4 yards per carry. So the takeaways I can take is A, Jags stopped the run. B, Tannehill didn't have a lot of passing yards. 239 yards isn't a lot. So the yardage they gave up really wasn't bad. C, they were in it the whole game against a good Titans team. It was 33-30, and the Jags had the ball driving down the field, and then Minshew threw that interception. Looks like James Robinson, the running back's getting involved a lot. If you play fantasy, try and trade for him. I did. I tried. Couldn't get him. But other than that, the Jags, I think, are a beatable game. I don't think there's any way, we should be losing this game. Fitzpatrick plays like he did. Hopefully Gardner Minshew doesn't tear us apart. Hopefully our defense, week 1, we sucked against the rush. And week 2, we improved the rush defense. Week 2, we sucked against the pass. So hopefully week 3, we can kind of put it all together. Our rush defense week 2 with our pass defense improving maybe can contribute to a win. So that's what I'm hoping for. As far as my final predictions, I'm going to go Miami 24, Jacksonville 17. This is my first time predicting the Dolphins to win this season. I do think this is a winnable game. I will be there, like I said. 2 of my Dolphins friends I'm going with. Jacksonville is only about a 2-hour drive from me, so I'll be there for Thursday Night Football. I've never been to a night game, so I'm excited. But anyways, that's my score prediction. I'm going to stick with that. All right, so that's that. I want to thank you guys again for watching week 2 of my Miami Dolphins YouTube channel, ADT Fins. My Twitter is here. Please follow, like, subscribe to my channel. Leave a comment. Please give me ideas, what you want to see. I want to thank all my Twitter followers that I've gained recently, especially the ones that have been talking to me and following my feed, commenting at me, and everyone that especially asked all those questions. I really do appreciate it. Trust me, I really do appreciate it. I'm not just saying that. Like I said, I do this for fun, for my own time. I'm not looking to make money off it, so I hope you guys enjoy. Like I said, hit that subscribe button, hit the like, and leave some comments. I'd love some input. All right, guys. Till next week. Peace.